Hello, welcome to Crypto News. Today is August 16th, 2025, and here are the top cryptocurrency news stories. Now we move on to our episode, and we will be talking about the FED, which is ending its blockchain program for cryptocurrency and banking activities. Essentially, back in 2023, when the US government was not so friendly to cryptocurrency, the FED had stated that every bank that dealt with cryptocurrency would have a surveillance program. This was a program to prevent banks from dealing with cryptocurrency because they would not deal with it very well. Now that the landscape has become much more crypto-friendly, this program is no longer in effect, and from the Fed, we will also refer to the US ETFs, and we will look at August 14th, when BlackRock had ETF inflows of $523 million, with the day closing at $230 million in inflows. On August 15th, without knowing what BlackRock had done, we are at negative $128 million. Now for Ethereum ETFs. On August 14th, BlackRock had the largest inflow yet, worth $519 million, with the day closing at $639 million. On August 15th, we do not know what BlackRock has done, but we are already at negative $397 million, so it is not certain that BlackRock will be able to make up the difference. Let's assume that despite this big rise that the other ETFs are having, so far Ethereum ETFs have raised $3 billion in August, as Ethereum reaches its all-time high. Do you know what else is growing as Ethereum hits an all-time high? People looking to get out of staking Ethereum. As we can see, the queue of users looking to withdraw their Ethereum from staking has reached 15 days, with 873,682 Ethereum waiting to be withdrawn from staking, presumably to be sold or ready to be sold. Meanwhile, those looking to stake Ethereum are facing a 5-day queue. On top of that, the second highest annual Ethereum inflow to exchanges has been recorded. As we can see from CryptoQuant, what you see in front of you is how much Ethereum has entered all exchanges, and on the 14th of the month, 2.5 million Ethereum entered exchanges. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's all sold, but entering exchanges means that it's been sold or ready to be sold. This is the second highest entry for 2025. The first occurred on February 3rd, when 3.2 million Ethereum entered exchanges. Continuing on our episode, we move on to everyone buying cryptocurrencies. Today we go to Topwin International, Taiwan's first publicly traded corporate Bitcoin exchange, which raised $10 million to start buying BTC. Moving on, we go to BTCS, which we learned has 70,140 Ethereum, worth $321 million, while DeFi Development Corp would have bought $22 million in Solana. Among the companies buying cryptocurrencies, we will turn to our exchanges, and specifically Gemini, which has filed with the US Securities and Exchange Commission to become a listed company and launch an initial public offering. So gradually, many exchanges are becoming listed companies now, as the climate has changed for cryptocurrencies, and it has become much friendlier than it used to be. Perhaps the most interesting news comes from Coinbase, but it is something you know again from Crypto News, as Coinbase says that an alt season is just around the corner. Coinbase wrote this article, which you will find in the description if you want to read it, essentially saying that alt season is very close. And the main things that this article highlights to justify this statement are the ones that we have already shown in Crypto News. One of the most important things is the dominance of Bitcoin, which is decreasing as Ethereum is increasing. Once the Ethereum cycle is over, alt season usually comes as money flows further down into the rest of the crypto market. And here we have the altcoin season index. Coinbase says that if 75% of the top 100 cryptocurrencies outperform Bitcoin, we are theoretically in an alt season. So these numbers are going up, as you can see, and that is why Coinbase believes we are very close to seeing an alt season. Moving on, we will also go to XRP and our cryptocurrencies, and we will see a partnership that shows how blockchain can be used in the real world, which is something that we will see more and more often. Let me tell you that thousands of medications in the US can now be paid for in cryptocurrency through a new blockchain-based system that works with the XRP ledger. The system was developed by Wellgistics Health, a prescription drug distributor and digital prescription routing provider for more than 6,500 pharmacies in partnership with pharmaceutical software company RXERP. According to the companies, the system allows pharmacies to pay for products and transfer funds, while recording all payments on the XRP ledger and offering an alternative to traditional bank transfers for bulk drug purchases. So soon, everything will be paid for via blockchain and no one will know it's happening. And it is, as we said, a real-world application of what XRP has done. And we'll see more of that in the future. For the next cryptocurrency today, we'll turn to Scale, whose overall price isn't very strong. However, it has gained 82% on the 7-day chart. The reason is basically rumors, according to this first article, as there are rumors that this particular coin will be partnering with Google, after the coin's founder was spotted at Google this week. And on top of that, there has been a lot of activity with phalanxes in the last few days, so all of that has helped its price rise. Moving on, let's move on to the cryptocurrency market, where Bitcoin is at $117,000 and Ethereum is near $4,500. Continuing with Bitcoin, it stands very strongly as our support, and one positive thing that happened is what we said 4 days ago on CryptoNews, that there is a CME gap at $117,000. And as we mentioned then, traditionally these gaps have to close and be covered by price. So with Bitcoin falling, that CME gap, as you can see, has now closed. So we have one less thing to think about. And something very important that could affect the markets is Putin's talks with Trump in Alaska about what will happen with Ukraine, which, if they find a solution, may or may not help the markets. That wraps up the top news for crypto today. Is August 16th, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.